All right. Welcome everybody to our monthly board meeting on February the 24th. We will start at 6:10 p.m. this evening. Looks like is everybody in attendance except for
Mike Morrison.
Mr. Mike
Morrison is not.
Everybody else is present in person. And Mr. Talley is online.
Yeah, I'll text Michael Morrison to see if he might be jumping on.
Do we text?
I got it.
Yeah. Miss Haley is in person. I had a moment to look over the minutes. Approval of the agenda. Or approval of the
Jamie, you
agenda.
have to read the mission statement.
Oh, yes.
Sorry.
My bad, that part.
That's okay.
All right, I'm gonna read up mission statement. Mountain View's preparatory MVP's mission is to cast the next generation of sports and entertainment industry stars.
Text and okay. Call for a motion for the,
Yeah.
okay.
Call for a motion.
Well, is it, I mean, is it a big deal at the time?
Oh, you did make a note of that.
Like the,
Yeah.
agenda said 6:30 instead of 6. I don't know.
Oh, no, it's very good.
We
But
started at 16.
Yes.
yeah, but I sent it out at 6. Yeah, it has it on the website. I will change that on the next time. Good catch. Okay.
So move.
I'll second.
There is no public at this time, Jamie?
Everybody has a chance to look over the minutes. Like to make a motion. to approve the minutes. Franny?
I'll make the motion to approve the minutes. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next up, Mr. Talley, if you have touched base on the academic report.
All right, good evening, guys. Hope everybody's doing okay.
Hey, Matt, pull your, yeah, there you go.
Sorry, this
Thank
seat's a little lower than I thought it was. All right, not a whole lot going in on the academic report, more or less just calendar updates, things of that nature. Some big dates coming up here in the next few weeks. We are doing the ACT testing on Friday, March 6th, and then the SAT March 13th. So that's back-to-back Fridays for some of our sophomores through seniors to take that assessment to see where they're at as they prepare for their college career, hopefully. We are having a test prep session this Friday. There's two separate sessions. It's an 8 to 10, which is kind of just a general test prep, strategies and whatnot. And then 10 to 12 is just actual practice questions. So just 2 straight hours of just practice questions so they can kind of get a feel for what the assessment is going to be like. As it stands right now, we've got about 20 students that have signed up for that practice session. We'll send another reminder out tomorrow, just so parents and students have that opportunity. It's a free session. The assessment is free. This one on campus is free for our students to take, the free ACT, free SAT. So obviously if they take it again, beyond these opportunities, they'll have to pay for it. So 2 free assessments coming up here in the next few weeks. We do have our college fair, which we're doing for 10th through 12th grade students. March 27th, that's a Friday at the end of the month. I know that Ms. Vincent and Ms. Harrell have been working on that, trying to get as many schools on campus as possible. Still working on some possible incentives for students to attend. It's actually a women's right to vote group here in town, but what they do is they register voters. So they're looking for a time to come out and meet with our students, and I've proposed that day for them to come out. What they'll do is they'll register students that are 18 or that will be 18 by the next election. So coming up in November, so students that are currently 18, students that are 17, be 18 by November, they'll have a chance to register to vote that same day. We've also got some opportunities coming up with a local driving training school. Obviously, we don't do driver's ed or anything of the like, but some buddies of mine do a driving company where they come out and they actually teach the permit class to students. You pay $40, they keep 20, 20 comes back to the school, but they do, it's about an hour and a half of teaching the permit test, and students take the permit test. They pass that permit test, they give them an envelope sealed. Upon the students turning 15, they take that envelope to the DMV, and that's just one more step to getting that permit. So that'd be a good opportunity for our students to go ahead and get that. Trying to get that scheduled here in March or early April. Spring break, obviously April 6th to the 10th. We're still in good shape as far as days. We still have one e-learning day in our back pocket, so we are not in a situation where we're having to make up school days yet, where a lot of the local districts are. We strategically played it just right. It was touch and go for a minute, but it worked out in our favor. We still do have that day where if something happens, inclement weather, things of that nature, and we still need an e-learning day, we do have one between now and the end of school year. So with that, we should be able to finalize our school year on May 19th, which is that Tuesday. We do have some, I'm not going to say concerns, but possible conflicts with our scheduled graduation date. Again, we're scheduled to graduation on May 14th. That's at Lake Bowen Baptist for our seniors. As it stands right now, the state track championship, the state track meet is scheduled to be held somewhere between May 14th and May 16th. We're trying to confirm the actual day. I don't know if it's going to be multi-days or 3A gets a day. Coach Johnson is trying to get confirmation on that. If we don't have to change the graduation day, obviously we don't want to, but we have been in contact with Lake Bowen Baptist to see if that Friday is a possibility, which will be that 15th. As it stands right now, it's still scheduled for the 14th until we get confirmation of when that actual state track meet will be held. Again, if it's held on the 14th, we'll have to make adjustments. If it's held on the 15th, we'll be able to move forward with graduation on the 14th. One thing, and I'm not sure is on the agenda. I don't have a copy of it, but approval for next year's calendar. Do y'all have a?
Yeah, they have it.
They have it. All right,
It's in the
great.
packet.
All right, great. Okay, so what you have in front of you is our proposal for the school calendar for next year. It's very similar to a lot of the traditional schools in Spartanburg County. We actually start on that 5th, that August 5th. So the teachers would report back. My calendar doesn't have that July date, but that Wednesday prior to that, so the last Wednesday of July, teachers would report. So you get that Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, that Monday, Tuesday for work days. We would do student orientations on August 3rd and 4th. That'd be meet the teacher. That'd be yearbook pictures. We've already actually scheduled Jostens to be on campus to take the yearbook pictures, senior pictures, etc. So we would start school on the 5th. And then pretty standard calendar all the way through October. The local districts did add kind of a mini fall break, October 15th and 16th. So we just kind of mirrored that. So you can see October 15th and 16th will be a student holiday. November 3rd, the election holiday, even though we're not a polling station, just to keep it consistent across the board, we would take that election day off as a student holiday. Trying to keep that week-long break at Thanksgiving. I think our families can appreciate that. I think our staff certainly appreciates that. That's something that's unique to our calendar. So we added that again for next year. So a week at Thanksgiving. Pretty standard holiday break for the Christmas holidays. 2 weeks off. Starts on December 21st. Goes through January 1st. Obviously the MLK holiday on January 18th. We did add a non-instructional day on March 15th. The local districts did go with a week off in February. A few different thought processes on why we didn't put that in. Not putting it in still allows us to have that week off at Thanksgiving, and not putting it in still allows us to end school a week before Memorial Day. So just in the event that we actually have some makeup days, even if we have days added on the back end, we still end school before Memorial Day. So that's really the major difference between our school calendar and the local calendars. The 15th is a student holiday, the non-instructional day. Just kind of cuts down some of that long stretch between January, February, and spring break. So that one day off on Monday. And then spring break mirrors the local districts April 5th through the 9th. And then our last day of school would be May 20th. Our makeup days would be May 24th, 25th, 26th. We would obviously apply to be a e-learning school again next year, which would give us those 5 e-learning days, which should eliminate the need for any makeup day. But I'll be happy to answer any questions regarding the calendar.
Man, what time's that graduation?
Scheduled for 6 o'clock.
Thank you.
And right now, we told them 8 tickets, but we'll probably expand it to 10. So our senior class will get 10 tickets per student that they can give out to their family members, et cetera. So.
How does this line up with the SEC's calendar?
It's pretty similar. Their start date and end date is always going to be a little different. They'll start the end of August, and then they'll close typically in early May. So it's very, very compatible with what they would do.
So we do need this approved because it has to go to Limestone.
Anybody have any questions on it? A motion for the approval of the 26-27 school calendar.
I'll second.
I'm sorry, really? Did you not
Thank you,
get-
Matt, for the update, by the way.
You have 2 packets?
Yeah, thank you, Matt.
What happened? I didn't hear it.
It's probably on the back of somebody else's end, right? Yeah. So
You beat me to the one question I have. I was worried about those e-learning days. I was trying to figure out how many we had to spare or if we were right on it. So,
We're still one heavy, so we're in good shape right now.
okay. Okey-dokey. Thanks, Matt.
All right, that's it. Thank you, guys.
Thanks for that.
Oh, hey, Matt, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I should put it on the agenda. Can you give them an enrollment report?
Yeah, sure. So enrollment, we're over 200 new signups. It was a big week this last week. I think we've had over 20 students sign up in the last 5 to 6 days. That's across all grade levels. And I'm sorry, I should have referenced this, but on our intent to return, we do have 300 current students that have declared their intentions to return for next year. I've shared that link a couple different times, and we'll continue to do that throughout the semester, just so students have a chance to claim their seat moving forward. So 200 new signups, 300 students with the intent to return. We do have an information night coming up this Thursday. That's from 6 to 8. It's really just a parent meeting on steroids. Teachers will be in the building. We do have 6 different students that have signed up to give tours, so it's going to be really student-led. I think some of our best sales pitch can come from students that have actually experienced what we have to offer. So students are going to lead those tours. Teachers will be on campus. Obviously, the admin team and different folks will be on campus to help parents. So expecting a nice turnout for that. So again, that's Thursday night from 6 to 8. Calling it Preview the View, but really just an information night for prospective parents or anybody interested in what we have to offer. So.
I just wanted to comment, like, I feel like it's really great. It's great to see all of the social media accounts rolling with constant, consistent, like almost on the daily of kids creating reels and stuff. I feel like that's a huge recruiting tool in itself, but it gives you a view on what's going on inside the building. And that's,
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, I should have had that on the agenda. I'll change that for next time so it's an actual thing on the agenda. Mhm.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Yay.
Tyler.
Okay, my time. Okay, Wayne is on with this, but if you will let me get through the financials first, then Wayne, I'll let you go.
Well, Haley's got a good.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I missed you, Haley. I'm sorry. No, sorry.
Mine'll be very quick. I printed off my report for you all so that I didn't have to bore you with going through everything. Athletics, very exciting time for our winter season because we are still in season right now and a lot of teams are not. So our boys basketball team won their region championship when we beat Chapman last week or 2 weeks ago. So that was exciting. And then last night they won, so we will be advancing to the upper state championship. Huge deal for a second year program. Super exciting for him. I'm sure you all have seen that region alignment came out. So we have dropped down to class 2A. So we'll be in region 2, class 2A. I listed our opponents and our region members. So I'll be meeting with those ADs tomorrow morning at 8, so that we can go over what our region bylaws are gonna be, region policies, schedules, and everything like that. So I look forward to my breakfast meeting with the fellas. Yes, so, yes. So again, winter sports update, I kind of jumped into that, but again, boys basketball is just having a great run. So we will be playing Christchurch at Hillcrest High School Friday night, 7 p.m. We'd love to see you guys there. I know that Christchurch, because they're a little bit closer to Hillcrest than we are, we're kind of expecting them to have a big turnout. So we are really hoping that our students and staff and faculty and everybody come and families come and support our guys. And then our boys wrestling program, we had one state qualifier this season. Girls basketball, they were under new leadership, but they're improving, week after week. And so we'll see continued growth there. And then this year we added basketball cheer. And I think that has been a great addition to our game day environment, game day atmosphere. Those young ladies have done an amazing job. I know that the basketball team and the parents love nothing more than having them there. They just had that different element. Some coaching updates. So cross country coach, she resigned, I think back in October or sometime right after her season. She took a different position. And so our current track and field coach, Coach Mike Johnson, is going to oversee cross country. And I think that that'll be good because it'll give some continuity to our field, track and field and our running and distance and everything like that. And that's some points we've been missing on the track side of things. So we're excited about that. Football, Coach Ramsey is still working on some finalized positions right now. Cheer will announce a new head coach very soon. So we're going to make a change there. And then boys lacrosse, I did interview a candidate last week. So we'll work on launching that program next year. There's been some interest, so we'll have to see, again, gauge that interest. Right now, it looks like we'll probably have to start it like a C team program because most of the interest is coming from our 7th, 8th grade of kids, and there is not middle school. And of course, they can't play on varsity, and that's a high impact sport. So we'd probably go that route. Spring sports, they are in preseason right now with scrimmages. So the first actual competitions start this week. Baseball and softball have tournament. Actually, baseball is hosting a tournament here this weekend. So if you don't have anything to do, we want you to at the Upper State game on Friday night, but then Saturday, come here and support our baseball team in their tournament. And then some student athlete recognition. I know a lot of people had questions about this. So varsity letters, I have ordered those for students. So we will backdate them as well. So the students who did not get theirs last year, their star, I ordered enough so that way those athletes will get them as well. So the coaches will just give me a list of the students who earned that varsity letter last year. And then I ordered bars for those students. So they'll get their letter and their bar, but then they have to order their jackets on their own. But we'll provide the
What
letter.
about the region patches?
I did not order those, but I will look into that. Yes.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, other schools do that. They'll
Okay.
order, obviously region. If they win region, they'll get a region patch, and then also if they win state, they'll also get a state patch.
The rest should get something to make the state qualifier as well.
Yeah, across all programs.
So our region, we don't pay dues, so that's all on the school. I know it's some regions actually have dues and kinds of things, but we are going to go back and order all the trophies that we should have gotten. It's just that looks like, it looks like a state one, but it says region, right? So she's working on that with the local shop too.
Because of the day, we've got 4 state championships and 6 regions, right?
5.
Is it 5 or 6?
I think it's 6. Because I think girls, I don't think we're counting girls track. Question to go back and look at. And I was thinking it was 6 based on last year. But yeah, we are gonna get all that ordered. We also will have more pictures, like the ones we have in here. When we order those, we have to order them in big bulk so we get them really cheap. Otherwise, they're very expensive pictures considering the size of them. So by the mid-spring, we'll have more of those out. And we've also made some milestone ones that we're giving to, like Ava got one, KD got one. We're ordering one for Mac because of his big numbers last year, single season. Was what, 15, there's only 5 other people that they could find in the history of the state that has his single season numbers. So yeah, so we'll be making a milestones wall out there as well.
Yeah, just a lot of great things happening. Great leadership from the coaches. Any questions?
I love that it's,
I thought about you.
yes.
That helps you a lot, isn't it?
Yes, perfectly fine.
Yeah, let's wait and let Wayne do his thing and then we'll go back. That way he can do whatever.
Yeah, yeah. Wayne, we're gonna let you go next. Okay?
Sure. Well, just so Matt and I will be on site next week to see how progress is going and meet face to face with people from contract. We have their schedule. Hopefully the weather is drying out there, and so that they'll be able to start getting busy doing underground. So far, everything is at or under budget for the overall project. So
Hey, Wayne, I'm really sorry. I meant to print out the milestones and I didn't. But can you read that for them? Because I meant to have that in their packet and I did not. Or I can do
hang
that
on a
while you finish up. If you want to finish, then I'll do that.
Either way, I can pull them up. I don't have it printed out in front of me because I didn't know what the agenda was. So,
Sorry.
What day are you on campus next week?
Pardon me?
What day are you and Matt on campus next week?
Next Thursday morning.
Okay. Thank you.
No
You
problem.
go ahead. I'll pull them up and that way I can read them when you're done.
Okay. As is normal with contractors and as is normal with contract, when you look at the milestone dates, assuming that the weather straightens out and cooperates, I believe they have some cushion in some of those dates. Not a ton, but they've got some cushion in there. So some things could get done earlier than they expect. I know there have been a couple of questions and issues about the connector between the field house and the athletic building. That's being taken care of. It's just waiting for a sign off from OSF. Things are getting finalized with the turf field and all of its lines so that it will, instead of what it was intended for initially being just football and soccer, will also be football, soccer, and lacrosse, in addition to around the perimeter of it, certain track and field facilities. Working on some additional pricing for a press box at the baseball field. So instead of buying one for just the softball field, we're trying to see if we can get a discounted price for a second one, which isn't part of contract scope, but so that we can put one at the baseball field, as well as getting electricity over to there so that we can put a public address system out there as well. What else is going on? I think that in the next couple of weeks, you'll start seeing slabs on grade out at all 3 of the buildings. And then things are gonna start to go in a pretty good pace. Tomorrow, I expect to know the date that the two steel buildings are going to be delivered, for the field house and the athletic building. Site work at the softball field and the multi-purpose field should be ongoing. And I know drainage structures are due to arrive in the next week or two, so that a lot of underground utility work out associated with the athletic fields can start to be installed. I don't know, anybody have any particular questions?
So the milestones, so the multipurpose field, which is the turf field, should be done May 12th of 26. So mid-May. The softball field will be May 22nd. The classroom building will be July 1st. So hopefully our CO will be July, or the first week. The athletics building, the weight room, lockers and all is August 21st. And the field house gym is October 2nd. That's a pretty quick turnaround for all of that. So it's hoping that if we can hold to that, that's really helpful. That means that in October that volleyball can move over and then basketball will be able to practice there as well.
What was August 21st?
The weight room,
Wait, room.
athletic building.
And I guess the only comment I would make about the milestone dates as it relates to the softball field, that's when the turf should be getting itself pretty well established. You're going to see a softball field there earlier than that, but not usable.
Yes, grass.
And as soon as I guess let me add two things to that. As soon as the civil work is done at the softball field, then the sports lighting for the softball field will go up. And I expect that sometime towards the end of March, that Duke Power will be relocating the light poles that are going to be relocated from the baseball field over to the multipurpose field, so that at least there's some light out there at dusk to allow later in the day use of that area. Not enough light for competition, just like there wasn't enough light from those for competition at the baseball field, but it'll help.
Also, guys, I created in your Dropbox a folder that says complete set of bond documents. And then within that, there's a construction reports in there. So every month, Wayne has to send me some stuff, and then I send it to the trustee. So everything that we've sent in thus far is in that folder. Y'all can look at it at your leisure. But they're basically just want to know how much money have we spent and what have we spent it on.
And here's something that just is vitally important. When the financing closed, because the permits were not issued yet, and because of the limestone issue, the lender, Nuveen, put $10 million into an escrow account that was unavailable until all those conditions were met. All those conditions have been met, and Matt and I have confirmed with the trustee that we have access to all of the money. So no slowdowns there, no issues. Things will just happen through the normal course of construction and keeping everybody rolling and getting paid.
Yeah. Good. Anybody else got any questions for Wayne?
Thank you for the update, Wayne.
Yeah.
If you guys have not that they don't need it right now, nor does Tracy, but if you're going to want Matt and I to present at a monthly board meeting or whatever, if Tracy, if you just give us an agenda of things that
Yeah.
you want us to review,
Sure.
we'll be prepared to go through all that with you next time. I'll be able to go through with you how much money's been spent to date, what's left to be spent, what funds are available still in FF&E and other areas. And by next month, we will know from contract whether or not they're going to be under budget, and whether or not that under budget circumstance will allow for some small additions that I know you're thinking about, because I hear from Tracy about them almost every day.
No, it's like, how much would this cost, right? Absolutely. Yeah. So if you could do that, I think that'd be great. That'd be helpful. So
No problem.
So Todd and Matt and I have been meeting with some companies for lunch services. And I've got one more that I'm trying to schedule so we can at least have 3 to think about and talk about. So by next month, we're going to need to make a decision about how we do this, because they're very different ways, because we've got to get the kitchen stuff ordered. I was really hoping that Limestone was going to do some more selling of property over there, but they have said they are not, because there's all kinds of stuff we'd love to have over there. Because once we determine that, then we have to buy furniture and lunchroom tables, and that's kind of what he's talking about. FF&E. We have spent like $50,000 of our 200 for all the stuff we did buy. That was all the athletic equipment at Limestone. So that's kind of where we are. And so now I've got to be real careful. Now the weight room, we've gotten a bid from the guy who did it. So we're kind of stuck with him to add 2 more racks and do the turf, which I don't have an answer yet about that. Does it need to be embedded or not? I'll get that. I'll have Todd take care of that.
Well, look, so let's be clear about that. Slabs on grade are going to get poured in the next several weeks.
Yeah,
So,
we'll have an answer tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh. I have no idea. I didn't even know that's what it is. So I think we're just going to ask Mike Anderson whether or not that does.
Mike Armstrong.
Mike Armstrong. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Still working on some stuff with him, trying to get him down to like something we really want to do. Because right now
We've got him down from 93 to 40.
yeah, but that's because we moved it over to field turf,
Right. Yeah.
for that. So
Yeah.
it's cheaper. So we're working on that. We should have all that done by next month, because we have to, for sure.
Great.
Okay.
The only question I have, Wayne, and I know it's moved from original, but we're 8 days off. Football spring practice starts on May 4th. And they're saying the field's gonna be ready the 12th. I think they're anticipating using the field turf field for, spring practice. So we're 8 days off on that. I don't know if that could be moved up anyway, but just,
Okay. Well, the sooner we confirm
I know.
for contract what it is
Probably on
that you want, then the sooner it's going to be done.
Yeah. We will get that to you tomorrow. But you were going to send
Okay.
us the ones to look at to see all the same color. Okay.
All right. So I've made that request to
Okay.
contract. They've reached out to Field Turf to do that.
Okay.
And I assume they will turn them around as quickly as they possibly can, but I don't know that you're going to see them tomorrow.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks, Wayne.
Take care, everybody.
appreciate it,
Nice
Wayne.
to see you. Good luck in basketball on Friday.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks. Okay, if you're ready for me, there's not a whole lot to say about financials this month. I will tell you that if you look through this, they did make the changes we asked for. They did move the bus loans over to the budget to actuals. So you see that. So if you look down, it's under other expenses, just to make sure you know what you're looking at there. to date, we've paid $27,494 for the buses. We are now getting all of our funding for all of our kids since we've hit that January 45-day count. And so right now we're getting monthly somewhere between, because there's all these other little things that get thrown in there, somewhere between $5.95, which is what we got last time. What we're getting this time is $5.99. So we're getting about $600,000 a month from the state right now. We also have received another $43,000 from our P&I grant. We only lack about $20,000 to get that. And Limestone has really pushed up when we got to turn in our federal money, because since they are going to be closing it out, so we should have all of our federal money by the end of March, which is very early considering we were in July before we got SPED money last year. And we're still hoping that there actually might be another round of SPED money, but we don't know that yet. Yeah, so not much different, but we did split up in the revenues between the CTE classes, because we have to do that. So any money made at the store gets spent back in the store, or for any other CTE course, it could be more cameras. But I'll tell you that the store making all the t-shirts and stuff, that's pretty expensive. The powder and stuff you have to buy. So anything basically the store makes, it goes back into the store. Yeah. We did determine that we should get for E-rate next year about $104,000, which is all of that money has to be spent on the new building. And we are working through what all that is right now to get turned in. Anybody have any questions? Again, these are always in your Dropbox. Feel free to look through it. And then if you want to email me questions, certainly feel free to do that. All right. Now, I do want to talk to you about what's coming up where I've set a line of credit. So what's going to happen is going to happen for the next 3 or 4 years is that as long as we're growing and we're adding teachers and staff because we're growing, understand we do not see a dime of the new kids money until the end of September, but you've got to pay salaries in July and August. Also, our debt service goes up to $125,000 a month. So it comes out to $1.5 million next year, which we have to actually start paying in June because you do a prepayment for the next year. So you're running with your debt service from June to May, and it goes up. And so but the issue that we're going to have is that we have all these new expenses, because in July is when you start paying again for your Edmentum and all your software programs. You start making those payments in July and August, but yet the extra money that for all these new kids, you will not see until the first check. And remember, you're only seeing the base for those new kids. You're not seeing any of their demographic money. That will not hit us until the next January again. Okay, so you're always lagging, and as long as you're adding kids, it's going to be that way until we are built out and we're not adding kids and we're not adding more staff. Then that's what we're looking at. And so we're looking at probably the next 3 years. So my thought here is that most charter schools do this. We just have not had to do this yet, but this big jump in our mortgage is what's making me think. I think we need to apply for a line of credit. I've talked to our South State Bank. One thing that worries me about them with this line of credit is they want 3 years of audits, and we just don't have 3 years of audits. Maybe they'll make an exception. So they've sent me that today. But again, I can't apply for that until you all approve that we do that. So it's really just a safeguard, just to make sure we actually should be fine, but it's going to hit our cash flow hard for July and August.
So what, we don't have to make a decision about this tonight. We can talk about it, think about it. But certainly before we get into the new fiscal year, when we do the budget, that we need to kind of get there. And I can get with Melissa, because she and I have been talking about this, and getting a kind of a number that's a real number. That would probably be a good idea.
So do you know that you've got enough to get through the mountain line, or are you very close?
Well, here's what it depends on, because we don't know that yet. One, we don't know how many kids we're going to have yet, even though we're projecting, and we don't know exactly, because we don't know how many kids, how many teachers we have to hire. And that is what is a little nervous situation, right? Because the last thing that can happen is to screw up payroll. That can never we have never paid late, and we have no intention of paying late or anything like that. It's just that you're not seeing any of that money.
If you have a lot of credit, you don't have to use it.
Right, correct. It'll just
Set
sit
it
there.
up, you don't have to use it.
It'll just sit there.
Kind of reverse.
But like I said, we don't have to make that decision tonight. I just want to bring that to the table, and we can talk about that, think about that coming up in for next time. Okay.
When is that cutoff window in regards to knowing if you need more faculty? Is that?
Well, that's what's hard, right? Because you have all these kids who signed up for a seat, and last year, I think we had, Matt, how many was it? Like 50 kids who signed up, accepted their seat?
I think we had over 700 kids sign up last year, and it's just, you never know. They sign up, they forget they did, they accept their seat, you never hear from them again.
We email them, call them, and now 700 meaning all the kids we had, right?
Yeah.
So exactly, it's a crapshoot, and that's just the hard part about being young and growing, because once we're full, then all we'll ever be doing is taking 100 seventh graders and 100 and 59th graders to fill us up, right? So I think we'll have a really good idea by the end of April how many kids were really going to come. Because if you've already signed up and we've told you here, here's your SNAP code, and you're not doing anything, and we're having to chase you, you're probably not coming. You know what I mean? So, because you can accept your seat, no big deal. But we have asked people to pay early this year. Last year, we didn't do it till you came. Now we're saying you need to pay your $100 fee. Yeah. And it's non-refundable. So if you decide that you're not coming, we're not giving that back, because we've put effort into this. So yeah. Yes. We only have a few more years to play this, and then we're kind of done with that. Kind of done with it.
We were shooting for 250, and about whenever enrollment, well, I think we're at 203 today.
Yeah, we're in a good place. I mean, yeah, we're adding a kid a day. Like Matt said, this week we had a bunch, and I'm hoping that Thursday night really gets us there, so that we get a whole bunch of new people that's not signed up, because a lot of people who will come have actually already taken a seat probably, but haven't come yet.
We're getting a lot of extra PR from basketball too.
Yes, we are. Yes,
Real
we
good
are.
article in the Dream will do today. If I see that.
Mhm.
They might send it out to all the board members.
Yes, we are.
Numbers in the building right now. How many do we have in house now?
552, Matt.
Yeah, 552 as of today. We've actually had a pretty good influx of interest here in the spring. A lot of our younger kids, our seventh grade group has picked up quite a few students in the spring. Some of the high school students obviously transferred, and you hate to say it, but for athletic reasons didn't work out with whatever sport they were trying to pursue. We have had, it's been a pretty fluid trade-off, but no, a good spring semester so far as signups.
What's the graduation anticipated?
64?
62, I think, was on the middle.
62. 62. We do have one just probably going to end up going the adult ed route, so we'll probably end up 61. But we feel I just got an update on the senior progress today for those taking online classes and everything else that need those last requirements. So it's going to take a lot of effort to keep that 100% graduation rate, but that's our goal. That's our goal. I'll say that.
Yeah.
And what was last year's graduation class?
How many?
32 students, 100% graduation.
Mhm. Mhm. Of all the 100% in the state, they were all charter schools or magnet schools. Special schools, like, you know, the governor's schools and, yeah, all of them were magnet or charter schools. And then when you looked about 10 more down, most of those were charter schools. Matt, how many went to
Well,
college?
We looked at that the other day. Of the 32, 18 started. Now, some have stuck with it, some have not. We did have, unfortunately, some that started it and did not see it through. We've gotten 3 military requests, so we know that 3 actually went to the armed services. And so for the rest, right now, it was an interesting collection of students. The 18 students that went to school, again, some of them went on athletic scholarship, and just full transparency, the academics was never going to work out. I think so. They've actually gone to the job force. So of the 32, I'd probably say of the 32 students, 25 are either in college or in the workforce or military. And then the 7 just kind of, that's
Not sure about.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody have any more questions for that?
So we knew, didn't you say like the magic number was like 700?
Magic number 700. That's what we're shooting for. 701 would be great. You know what I mean? Yes. Okay. Before we kind of get into the bylaws, I'm sorry to skip around just a bit, but the Alliance's spring meeting is March 24th in Columbia. It's a all-day event. Well, it's like 10 to 4. And then the next day, if you want to stay,
It's all.
day. They do have a group that goes over and talks to legislators. And while I usually don't do that, I think Haley and I are going to do that at least. Todd, yes. Anybody else who'd like to do this about this high school league bill going through? So they're hearing charter school voice. So if any of you would like to go, if you want to go and spend the night, although it doesn't start till like 10, it's usually pretty drivable in the morning. If you don't want to do that, just let me know. I need to get you signed up. Preferably this week, but if you can't do it this week, if you can't tell me this week, it's okay. And then we'll pay your mileage down. And then they provide lunch. And it's really good. It's a good place to meet other board members, other staff. It's not a go to sessions kind of thing. Everybody's in the same room all day long, but you hear it from the State Department.
It's very informative.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
have some good.
Right. So just let me know so I can get you scheduled. Okay. So I will turn it over to you guys back to talk about your bylaws. And I did this. Now this is the current copy. This is what has been approved and signed. So there's no changes in this one, just to give you reference. Okay. So Stacy, I think that's you.
I email.
I can do that if you want me to. Did you just email them out a few minutes ago or today? Can you like forward it to me and then I can just pull it up here? If you can you forward it to me?
Yes.
And just re-forward it to Tracy at mvpstars.org. And that way I can share the screen. I guess there's more sandwiches and chips and drinks if you want something else.
Well, if anybody wants to see, this is going to be some of the colors of the turf other than green's green for the grass.
Oh, that's what I was
This is
wondering.
the outline of the view on one side and MVP in the other end
Can you
zone.
put it on the screen up there?
Yeah.
Show them what it's for. Like.
Just got it on road.
No, well, no, my email's right here. Hang on.
This is the third thing like so long ago. That would have been, that was the last, yes, that was, so that's the last, okay, so I think it was.
Here you go.
Yeah. That's what your football,
That's the football stadium.
soccer, and lacrosse field's gonna look like.
We just a little bit of tweaking on some colors.
Yeah.
But other than that, that's it.
Yeah, we're waiting to find out how much this right here will cost to wait and not do this, to have to go back and cut it in. Because we'd like that part right there to be teal.
Yeah.
But to get teal, take an additional 18.
Yes. Because it's not a standard color, but
Yeah,
these are
it's not-
standard
it's not a
colors.
standard color.
Yeah. It will be
You like
prettier.
you like the football field? Karen,
What
you
now,
like
sir?
the football field?
Oh, yeah, I'm pumped. I'm coming back. Y'all ain't getting rid of it. I mean, somebody's gonna be the sideline.
You'll be on Friday
Cheerleader. I'll be fully empty nesting, so.
Yeah, what else are you gonna do on Friday?
Right. I mean, me and Anthony just sit and stare at
Right,
each
did you
other.
email it to me?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, if you'll give me just a second, I will.
Another 18 weeks.
Crap, I should have done that. Let me go back and get into it.
So you throw that?
Second, let me. Okay, here, hang on a second.
Sure.
So, I need to share my screen.
Is it J. Smith? What's your email?
Okay, can you see it? Okay, there you go.
Okay.
So that's the first round.
So the black is the original, and then we had the red that we made edits. So if you look, it says at least 6. That was the first round of edits, but then we met and talked, and it should be 10. So I went back and changed that. So what you see in red is where we are at the moment.
Okay.
Unless there's something else, but there are some strike throughs in the red.
Okay.
Like,
So we
10
went,
instead of 6.
yeah, so we have 10 regular meetings annually. 4 of those should be held in person, and then 6 can be Zoom or another way. And then we wanted those in-persons to be January, May, August, and October. I think we talked about budgets and different things that we needed to be in person for. Each board member required to be in attendance 75% of regular meetings, including a minimum of 4 in-person meetings, and it's the January, May, August, and October. Failure without a good cause may result in a written warning from the board chair, and continuance non-compliance may lead to possible removal from the board.
Hang on.
I was wondering on that, when I was looking at that section, I mean, is that clear enough just in regards to, there's a lot of maze in there, are we looking at accountability when it comes to the board, or are we just saying, if you don't show up, yeah, this may happen, you may get whatever?
So I think when I think back, Tracy said these were our bylaws. So to answer your question, we can word it every how we want to.
Yep.
I think you have to be mindful when you block yourself in. If you say it's going to happen and someone has a medical issue or someone has something going on, then you block yourself. And we can change that wording so that it says, you know, you put all those things in there if you want to, but it can say whatever we want it to say.
I will-
We write the bylaws.
Yeah, and like I said, these are your bylaws. I'm
Yeah.
just gonna tell you what I've seen from other schools. Sometimes they'll put with that, like it's with permit, like the board chair can excuse something if it's a medical thing, but that's up to you. Just give me some. So whatever you
Or
want
do
to
we
do.
state that every time you show up, you have to like. Say you're not
Like
taking
with
it away.
with a nice
Yeah.
chair
Or
or
the board chair, 24 hours in advance, or at least, I mean, just something that.
Stronger accountability.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, I'm just tossing it out there. I'm
No,
not
no,
saying it
no,
needs to
no,
be,
I-
but
I mean,
We're all
we
like-
have some schools that made it 3, you miss 3 and you're out. I mean, but that's up to y'all. Yeah.
Usually 3 in a row though.
3, yeah. 3 in a
3 in a
row.
row, just obviously not showing up anymore.
Will you go back to that section?
Yeah.
So, what's,
Consecutive.
at the station?
Was that it?
I mean. Probably 3.
Like it's-
I mean, I would be more comfortable at least with consecutive. than
Yeah,
not
yeah.
Showing up.
Right.
If you have to chase, just like you were saying with students, you gotta chase them.
Yeah.
You're probably not coming, so.
All right, so do y'all want to add that, 3 consecutive? You're out. No. Okay.
So this is before we holding 10. Is that due to Christmas in July?
July, yeah.
Absolutely.
July, yep.
Sometimes in July, we will have to have one just for
Right.
crazy stuff, but Christmas,
Assume with
normally
10
not.
comes from-
Mhm.
And when is this going to affect? Because it's February. I don't have a
Yeah,
face to face.
so
Whenever you voted in. Mhm.
We actually had one for December this past year.
Well, we've had this since November.
Yeah.
No, transfer stuff.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, anything else you say in that section?
I mean, that's the approved language. we have to keep.
For the
Just like
public
we do it
comment.
that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that came from the attorney.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's gonna be a standard across the board. I mean, that's your same as,
That's what I thought.
that's the same that they have at the county council.
Okay, that's all that's on that one. You ready for me to shut that one and do the other one? Okay. I try really hard not to get in front of this camera thing here.
But we have to-
you're in there now.
I know.
Close up.
Okay.
Keep zooming.
How much is this crazy?
I'm gonna stop the share. Okay, let's see. Is this the same one? Because I opened 2.
Yeah, that's the same one.
Okay. All right, let's open this one. Okay, go back to the Zoom. Okay, it's not liking me now. Crap, sorry. Okay, all right, there you go. Okay, here is. Now. Okay, here you go. There you go.
So what do we have to do? No, you're good. I'm trying to catch myself up.
Oh, you don't need, wait a minute, let me roll it. Oh,
Yeah.
removal.
Okay, the removal, so causes for removal, fair to attendance requirement, which then we also are gonna add the 3 consecutive missed meetings, violation of confidentiality or conflict of interest policies, misconduct, neglect of duties. Those complete required state training during that timeline, and then repeated violation of board policy or laws. You know, of any other removal calls.
If you are convicted of a felony, you cannot be on the board. So you might not have had one when you joined the board, but if you,
Okay.
yeah.
Check something out. How do you ever find out about that, Trace?
That you're convicted of a felony.
It won't be hard, it won't be hard to pop up.
You think somebody's.
Well, I mean, I ran all your background checks before you got on the board.
Do you run periodically? Do you run-
Once a year. Once a year.
Once a year?
Mhm. Mhm. Yep.
Okay, then we looked at the officers. We added some descriptions that we talked about regarding duties for those. And I think if you scroll, I think we added, did we add something? Maybe my memory. Yeah, we added a couple. Educator, representative, and board communication liaison. Those are the two we talked about.
Read more. There is, I mean, that's something y'all are gonna have to vote on soon too. Mhm. Okay, there you go. So,
The last one is just.
because right now you don't have a vice chair. So you need to be thinking about who wants to do that.
I know these two positions came out of a long night discussion when we were here.
Yes, yes.
Very long night.
Very
Are
long.
we still thinking that we need these two positions?
I love these parks and board meetings when there's absolutely nothing I'm responsible for.
I mean, to me,
You just sit
when I
back
was
and eat your
reading-
sandwich.
when I was reading back over this, it makes me go, okay, I mean, that changes in regards to somewhat in regards to structure of the board, the qualifications for these positions and stuff too.
I mean, an educator representative, I think that,
Unless you-
yeah, that would be me.
Or crazy.
Or, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and it would actually keep academics kind of in check, make sure we're doing what we're supposed to be doing as far as, getting kids grades and making sure they're making the grades and doing this, that, and the other. And just in case something comes up, like it does in universities all the time.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah.
I mean, does this include oversight of the dual enrollment as well?
I'm asking you, I don't know. Does this include oversight of the dual enrollment?
Well, okay, I'm not gonna answer that but I'm gonna tell you kind of general, some other schools that have that kind of specialty. I'm not answering it because really you guys would determine whether it was or not, right? But I will show you, if you have a theme specialty school, which we do, then typically you have someone who's in that profession to have that knowledge. So like at Eastlink, because they're a Chinese school, they have two people on the board who speak native speaking Chinese, right? So that you have that knowledge. Here, because we're doing enrollment, it is certainly a good idea to have a college contact, right? Not required, but it helps with the knowledge base of what we're doing at this level of what you do at that level. Not required, but I'll just tell you.
And marketing, have like so many degrees, and I'm working on my last one, which is the MS in sport management. So, yeah. So
You have a PhD in leadership, don't
PhD in leadership.
Yeah.
MS in business analytics, and then I'll have an MS in sport management. I'm just finishing up my first course at LSU. So, but I don't know how long this is going to take me. It took me a year to do my last one, but I like near the end I did 2-3 classes on about. Yeah, I have an MBA. I'll have an MBA, 2 MSs, and then 1 MBA Marketing Plus certificate. So I can be doing that, but accounting. But my profession before I started in higher education was accounting. I was a controller at a mattress manufacturing company.
All right, so we definitely want to keep the educator representative, it sounds like. So what about the board communication liaison?
Really feel that that's probably a shared task between the chair and the vice chair. Because that's where the buck stops. I mean, that's where, if you got it the way it's described, that's kind of, that's where whether it's us meet with T-Squared and or Matt, or us meeting with, that's where this person really needs to be that.
So I think when we talked about this, maybe the wording needs to be changed if that's what you're taking from that, but it was more of like, we were talking about at that point, the athletics, the football field, all of that being, that's when it was being built and, or getting started, and parents were asking for an update. And we were like, there's not one person that kind of pushes all of that out to the community, to our parents. That was just an example of that, of an update or something like that. It was like, we're waiting on somebody to push out the information. But
I think with the way everything's being posted now, with our videos and our meetings being accessible for everybody, and us getting updates from Wayne on whatever projects we're working on, as long as it's relayed down.
I usually go out there and do a video, so does Alan. So
Yeah, I think that has gotten better.
The newsletter thing.
Newsletter, Parent Square.
Yeah, 'cause,
to
you know,
remind somebody or whatever.
Matt and Haley are both now sending out weekly.
Okay.
Took a little while to get there, but there we are.
Well,
And quite frankly, we didn't put a lot of stuff about the construction until something actually started happening.
Yeah.
Then they're like, oh, it's not really happening.
And I think what we were running into with the construction is we were getting dates and getting dates and getting dates. And it was kind of falling back on us, the school. Well, at the end of the day, it was the county not giving us our permit.
Yeah.
So they thought it worse, so then that kept it.
Yeah.
So everybody's like, wow, y'all ain't gonna never build nothing. Well, it's kind of, I mean, we've approved a $34 million bond. I mean, the money's there, so we just gotta get somebody and some permits to get things going.
Yeah.
So
okay, so y'all want to remove F.
Yeah.
I would.
Is there anything you want to replace it with that's needed, or we just cut it off and we're good?
Do we need term limits on the educator representative? Is that the same as the rest of the board members?
It should be the same.
Is it all up there at the top?
It's an elected position.
So that might make it hard. If you, sometimes when you like, sometimes that's why you're approved. I mean, you're appointed people. I'm sorry, so that you can fill those spots. If you're lucky and you've got somebody that can run for it, that's great. But you might get in a situation if they don't get elected, then you don't have that spot. You can have, you just have to have at least 50% elected. So if you have 8 members, it's 4 and 4. If you got 7, it has to be 4 elected and 3 appointed. Yeah. So we will need to talk about the next election coming up because there'll be some changes in that. This will be the first time once we do this election coming up, then you'll be on the 2-year cycle. We have one every year, but your term runs this way. We just got it. You had to get through that first one, so this will be our first full term thing. Yeah.
Y'all see anything else that we need to look at for change of law?
Okay. All right. So that's the only ones that I have in that email. Is that it?
That's it. Yeah,
Okay.
Everything else stayed the same.
Okay. Okay.
And then in that section, we don't put the consecutive in that section. Again, to what we talked about.
The consecutive for the miss, yes, in that one and the other. I'll put it in both. Yes.
Okay. So you can do this 2 ways. You can make the edits and come back next month and just approve it, or you can go ahead and approve it as discussed and amended, and then write it up, and then we'll review it again next month, and then we'll send it in. Either way you want to do it.
Time
Hmm?
Do you have that time?
It doesn't, they haven't asked for it yet, but we have not signed our contract with the new authorizer yet. They'll ask for it after they get the contract. So
So if we've got it ready for them.
that's great. And if we have to tell them, look, you'll have to wait till our next board meeting, they're gonna say fine. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. And speaking of which, hey, Matt, are you still on here? Yeah. When are we having that meeting that they're gonna want Jamie at? And they haven't said that, right? Matt. So it's they are gonna make a site visit. So, yes, did you get that? Okay, good. Okay, good. I don't think they've set the date yet, but they will soon. And then they're gonna come and hang out with us for several hours. All of us.
Tracy, let me ask you, any other clarification needed on as soon as possible in there, and when you have to, records of compliance, number 10, section 10.
No, when you do that, typically they send it to you within 24 hours. And if I have to go request it from your trainer, no, that's fine. Yeah. You do it and then it's just auto generated.
I just didn't know
When I
completing the training course.
Yeah.
It says as soon as possible. Is that what?
Well, it depends on when it's offered too, because the state, right now, the only way it gets counted is by the state. So you just have to do it within 1 year.
He was only doing it by quarter.
Yeah, he's no longer there though, so all that's gone. So we'll see what happens. So, and I'm assuming that when we get to, if we go in March, then hopefully the State Department's going to have some new information on that, because they said they were just going to go back to doing it online, and it's not even online.
I was in a meeting where it was discussed that there has been major changes at the State Department because of the mandates that were put that they had to come back into the building a certain amount of time. So it is a lot of turnover, an extreme amount of turnover.
Yep.
So they were saying that. So they were saying, like, if you're getting delays or you're not getting information like you're supposed to be getting, like at the meeting, then that's why, and to have patience. So I don't know if that's just a FYI.
Stacy and I've done a lot of work with the State Department. We all know.
Well, it's what I believe, yeah.
So what was this high school thing you mentioned?
The high school thing.
Okay, let's finish this.
Okay.
Yes. Let's finish this first.
So for the minutes, we need to decide how we're going to handle the approval of the bylaw.
Correct. You do.
Motion to amend.
We'll
Make those changes.
what was on the minutes from last month brought to this month was approval of the bylaw revisions was deferred to this meeting. So we either need to vote on, tell me if I'm wrong, vote on approval with the discussed amended changes.
Yes.
And if that's what we're doing, then yes, somebody would need to make a motion to vote on the discussed amended changes so that they can be revised.
I think you just made that motion.
Yeah. Did I? Great.
That's great.
Great. Yeah, I made the motion.
I second to vote.
Okay, then you all need to vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, I'll say.
No pun intended.
See, why? We talked about the spring leadership meeting.
That's what I just told you. It's March. That's it. So just let me know as soon as possible if you want to go, so I can register you. And does this time work out with everybody? This Tuesday, last Tuesday of the month, Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So the next one is March 31st.
Okay. Yep. Now, if you're approving these, then do we think March was online or not?
I mean, I've never ever
And
had to
honestly,
do one
unless
online.
something comes up, I think, we got an update on the progress. field stuff, we can go over. I think the other thing I think Todd's finished working on is, stuff for the bus stuff, and that can be.
Yeah, he'll just email that out.
What do you have some memory?
Oh, I'm getting prices from 3 different companies on wrapping the buses.
Yeah,
All
so
the
we get,
buses.
so we get that.
The
ball
3
rolling.
yellow buses that we just bought are gonna have to be painted first, so there's some additional costs there, so we've got to figure all that out.
All right, so if this Tuesday then it's March 31st. We like the last Tuesday of the month.
And that will be virtual. According to.
If
That's what you
you
got.
come, you come, if you log on.
Okay.
I mean, I think you could leave it for either way, so if everybody's here.
Just let us know who's coming and we'll
Yeah.
we'll feed you again.
Okay, then you'll need a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion for adjournment of the meeting this evening.
Okay, stop the share.
And I
And then let
think
me
it's,
stop. Hang on. Let me stop the recording.